Students, now we are going to start ninth chapter. What is that? Heredity. Heredity and evolution. Now we will see first what is heredity. Before going to the topic, we have to know the terminology in the heredity. So, first we go with the terminology. First one, genetics. What is the first term? Genetics. Genetics is the branch of science which deals with the combination of the genes and the structure of the genes and how these genes are transferring from one generation to another generation and how the genes they are creating variation. The total study of genes, their structure, combinations, inheritance, how they are inherited and how they are showing variation in the organism. These variations, it won't happen in a single day. It takes number of generations. Then come to the second, that is heredity. Second term is heredity. What is heredity? What is heredity? Heredity is the process of transfer of a trait or a character. Trait or a character from one generation to another generation. That process is called heredity. What is heredity? Heredity is the process of transfer of a transmission of a character from one generation to another generation. Next important point in the study of the heredity, it was done by the most of the studies. It was done by Gregor John Mendel. He is an scientist. He has more deal on science and mathematics. He used that knowledge to create the different types of genetic combinations. He is the person, not created, he observed many genetic combinations by using a plant that is called Pisum sativa. What is the plant name? Pisum sativa. He worked on a plant called Pisum sativa. And he is the person who observed inheritance of the character. How the character it was inherited from one generation to another generation. He is the first person who observed in the Pisum sativa plant. So, he postulated many laws. These laws are called laws of inheritance or Mendel laws of inheritance. He is known as father of genetics. He is known as father of genetics and he postulated laws of inheritance and he observed the transmission of a character or an inheritance that is in a plant, that the plant is called Pisum sativa. Generally we call it as a pea plant. He observed many characters in the pea plant. We see one character in the pea plant. Based on that, two terms we can explain it. Okay. First one, he had taken height of the plant. First character is height of the plant. The pea plant, when he observed two characters in the height. One is taller, another one is dwarf. One is tall. Some type of the plants he observed, those are tall and some are dwarf. Some are dwarf. He observed. Why some plants are tall, why some plants are dwarf? He want to study in detail of that. So, he observed there two traits. In a single character, he observed two traits in that. That means two types of character change he observed. What is that character change here? Look at here. He observed two types of characters. Characters, what are those? Contrasting characters. What he observed? Two types of contrasting character. One character, there is a difference. Okay, that is because of presence of a pair of genes. That is because of a presence of a pair of genes. In those genes also, which type of gene is present, based on that change is observed. For example, the height of the plant, it is determined by one pair of genes. One pair of genes that it decide the trait of the plant. That is height of the plant it decide here. Okay. For example, the plant it contain capital T gene combination. One pair of genes. Then only the trait is expressed. See here. This is for example one trait. One pair of gene it is present. Capital T, capital T. This is the gene combination when it is present in the pea plant, then the plant will be taller. Then the plant will be taller. Then second type of gene combination. Sometimes the gene combination in the plant it is one is capital T and another one is small t. Capital T, small t. Here in this type of gene combination, capital T is the dominant gene and small t is the recessive gene. In a pair of genes, if any one gene is dominant, then that character is expressed. Only when then that character will be expressed. Here, one capital T is there. So, it is a dominant character is present even though the other one is recessive. One dominant character is present here. One dominant gene is present here. So, the plant will be tall. Third type of combination, it is small t combination. Small t, the pair of genes are here. Both are recessive. Then, the character which is expressed by these pair of genes, it is also recessive. So, the plant is dwarf. These are the three types of combinations regarding one character of the plant, that is height of the plant. Then tell me what is dominant trait? Dominant trait is the trait which remains always dominant in the gene combination. That means this is only the trait which is expressed. Dominant trait it is represented by capital letter. Here tallness we are taking, so it is capital T. Then comes to the second one, recessive trait. The trait, this is one out of a pair of contrast characters. Okay. One out of a pair of contrast characters. See here, this is capital T, small t. This is a pair of contrast character. In that one is the recessive trait which remain masked. When it is present only one gene in the pair. If both the gene in a pair are recessive, then this trait will be expressed. Then only this dwarf trait will be expressed. Recessive trait is represented by small letter. Here we are taking height of the plant. So, it is small t. Next, genotype. What is phenotype? Genotype is the, what is genotype? Name itself is there. It contains genes. Genotype is the combination of genes which are present in the plant. Not only plant, in the organism. What is genotype? The combination of genes which are present in the organism. For example, I explained you already three combinations of the deciding the height of the plant. Okay, what are those? Capital T, small t combination and small t combinations. When you are taking one character, these are the contrast characters will be expressed based on this type of gene combination. This is the gene combination which is present in the pea plant when you are considering the height of the plant. Then next one, phenotype. What is phenotype? The physical expression. What we are seeing. that we call phenotype. The outermost, when you are looking the plant, you can see that one is a tall plant or a dwarf plant. The physical expression, what you are seeing in the character, what you are observing in the plant, that we call phenotype. Phenotype always it expressed when the plant it contain a genotype, genes. If the plant contain genes, then the character will be seen in the plant. Okay, see here. For example, if the plant is having capital T gene combination, then the phenotype of the plant it is tall, because both are dominant genes are present. So the plant will be tall. Then second one, capital T small t gene combination, if it is present in the plant, then what is their phenotype? It is also tall. Why? Because in one pair, one gene is a dominant gene. So it is also tall. When you are taking the gene combination of small t, then the plant will be dwarf. Why it is dwarf? Because in a gene combination, both the genes are recessive.